Back to the Matrix live, Stevie B. Here to recap the weekend, the end of the Patriots season. But off rip, this was an amazing weekend of football. So we're going to talk about all of that. Let's start. Patriots had what could be called two halves of the same tale. The beginning of the season, they ran through a bunch of dudes and a bunch of teams that were beneath them. And the bottom of the league as it came to fruition at the end of the season. Except for the Dolphins, who apparently decided to beat you. Beautiful season based on the fact that that defense still somehow only gave up 14 points when this dude, Derrick Henry, ran for 180 plus yards. Oh, the man looked like he was just flicking off flies. So the real question is Brady next season? Well, let's not worry about that. Let's just celebrate and toast to the season. So you celebrate and toast to the season, and that maybe there's a lot of moves to be made, but the core of the team remains the same. And the idea for them is really to pick up more players. Better players maybe through the draft. Whoever cares, but the Patriots toast to their season. Titans, again, somehow so one-dimensional. Tannehill threw for 70 yards. I've never seen such things. But when plays had to be made, there were specific guys missing that did count, apparently. And it really did count for some reason, in a lot of ways. You got to look at Brooks being targeted twice in crucial moments, a touchdown and a first down. You got to look at the Patriots having a huge play called back because of a penalty. And that was a lot of things. I saw that happening a lot, late in the season against opponents that, are viable opponents, where they, this season, didn't necessarily have enough people on their team that don't are used to situational football. Fundamentally, aren't necessarily as crisp as you would like them to be. They've implemented a lot of new people, and I think that's one of the key things. Offensive line, key thing. Offensive line. You can't really go without speaking to the offensive line, but it's a shame because Tennessee should really get should really have lost that game. There should have been multiple touchdowns. The Patriots, 2 touchdowns. The Patriots really should have had, especially when you're first and goal. But this nor that, you saw that coming, so you got to be, in a sense, understanding as a fan. You can't necessarily get all butthurt and say, well, oh no, they were, look at what the issues were, and you couldn't score, you scored 13 points against a team who you were able to move the ball on and actually got into the red zone on. There's no excuse at that point. Other particular plays, Vrabel apparently ain't no dummy. Yeah, I think he had a brilliant game plan, and it worked out in a way that the Patriots played into his hand. And that's weird to say because in particular situations, specifically when they had a chance when they had a chance when they, when they had a chance to go ahead in that red zone and they ran the ball in a particular way that was sort of predictable, that attempted nothing creative like the first way they scored the ball, because you have to understand that's what they had to resort to score the ball with Julian Edelman and running something creative, and that's really all they really had. I mean, you have weapons to do creative things with, but you haven't figured out how to use them in that sense because your set's not particularly 100%. Edelman's not even close to 100%. I mean, you got to call this season what it was. Great defensively, and a lot of times the offense has to pick up the defense, but that was never able to happen this season when it called for it, and that was mostly the back half of the season. So with that being said, we'll come to it later about what we'll come to it later with a Patriots video. But other than that, the Texans, the Bills had every chance to win that game. Texans Bills. The Bills had every chance to win that game, and shout out to the Bills because I was actually rooting for them a little bit there. You can't even be mad. I feel like that was their game to win, and when you, I don't know, when you leave the game in the hands of the refs, or when you make certain mistakes, or J.J. Watt comes in and makes a play, like I think the Texans made more plays that mattered than the Bills did when they had the chance to. And I mean, I really thought the Bills really should. I want to say the Bills, and when you ask that question yourself, did the Texans win that game or did the Bills lose that game? The Bills lost that game. They had a chance to win that game several times and couldn't capitalize. And I'm actually again, I was a fan of the Patriots getting whoever the hell the Bills quarterback is. What's his name? But I was a fan of them getting him in that trade last year from Arizona, I believe it was, and they didn't do it. But whatever. Um, Hell, that would have left them in a wonderful position right now, right? Ultimately, you got to think about also in the preseason. Jared Stidham made some of these weapons look good. And they were running simple offenses. It's not that you have to take the preseason to heart, but it's just like, look, there is a way for them to, like, you got to give Tom Brady some weapons, simplify the offense. Again, I'm going back to the Patriots. I'm sick of this shit. Forgive me. Y'all already know the loss is that tough, but there's so much to be evaluated in that. But the Bills are going to be competitive next year. The Texans have a hard-fought game coming because I don't think they look that good to where, like, I don't know, maybe again, teams play each other differently. I don't think I think the Bills have had one of the best defenses in the league this year, and if not one of the top three, obviously. I think the top three. I'm gonna say Bills is the top three defense, and that's just not from category or statistics. That's just like from overall ability and overall play and how tough your opponent. Think about it. You're the Bills. You're the fucking Bills. All right, and your defense basically made y'all great this year. Don't think that any of this shit is gonna continue next week. I think the Chiefs and the Ravens are going to put it down. Both teams have a chance. AFC is going to be a lovely game. You have Deshaun Watson, who can run at any time, with Hopkins and a couple of other ballers on defense that can play Roby, and it definitely is. But again, I think you know what this game, the Chiefs game, Chiefs Texans game is going to come down to who J.J. Watt. How many sacks can they get on Mahomes? They got to get to him quick. Make a move because he's still not healthy on his leg. Um, NFC Saints heartbreaker. Because to be honest, I think dude wasn't down. I mean, whatever controversial call, dude got rolled over. Show the right angle, you really can't tell. Haven't seen the angle that I feel like is suitable yet. So apparently, the Saints just ran into the same buzz saw that the Patriots did. It's just like Kirk Cousins. Shout out to Kirk Cousins. That's what I want to say. Shout out to Kirk Cousins. Shout out to Kirk Cousins. This man made some throws. He showed up in a playoff game. He's been the controversy in the conversation of years of he was getting franchise tagged from the Redskins, getting hella bank. And I think this man really had a chance today and showed the fuck out. Cook gave him help. Feeling, I'm officially a believer. I'm sorry, I had my doubts about this motherfucker, but I'm officially a believer because this dude gets open and catches the ball. And I knew he could catch the ball, and that was his staple in his. But feeling, shout out to feeling. I want to see what's going on next week with the Vikings. That is going to be a thriller. And I think that Cousins is feeling himself a little bit right now. Like, hey, what am I doing? I can make these throws. Making it under pressure. What? Again, this is why I question Josh McDaniels in this offensive scheme. They running shit to get people open. Either these dudes just can separate. And mind you, if I am not supposed to, and Josh McDaniels is great, and everyone, and that's really what it is, and guess what? Then they have no weapons, and so either way, point proven. Back to that. Anyway, shit. I kind of expected the Seahawks to win that game, even though, I mean, it was kind of like, I mean, what were they gonna do? Carson Wentz out the game. You can't. I'm surprised it wasn't worse. Let's just say that about that game. The Seahawks were supposed to win that game from exactly what happened in the beginning with Carson Wentz. Boom, done, game over. But doesn't say much about the Seahawks. Aaron Rodgers is going after his. I think he's really like, oh shit, there's no Brady in the playoffs. I can really get some shit. Who do I got to face? Okay, I think I can do this. So shout out to that. I think my new NFC favorite for the year now is Green Bay. The NFL done tripped up, slipped up. A toast to the Patriots season. To all my viewers, to the people that don't know, I'm Stevie B. I enjoy your opinions. If your friends text me, if you want to get on with your opinion, holler at me. Subscribe, like. It's 2020. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to all